Kosmix Band. Okay, let's give them a round of applause. Kosmix Band. Thank you very much, Frank. Be sure to listen to him on the radio. We also have Little John here, another DJ from the area. Also, want to announce Saturday, July 29th, Maestro's been in town with Little John's having a dance. And in a couple weeks, the Kosmix will be at Kenlock Fire Hall. Don't miss that.
IPA will see you.
IPA, we're playing for Mass at the IPA. But right now, we're going to play some polka music for you. Before we go on, one more time, big round of applause for the Garrett Titano Band. Fantastic job.
Check 1, 2.
Rising stars. They're already stars. Everybody get your hands clapping. Come on. All right, that's Emily. So just by way of introduction, so you know, you don't have to wait till the end to find out. There are my 2 nieces and 2 nephews over here. Becca and Emily are my nieces. 2 nephews over here, Philip and Matthew. They're all siblings. And they are phenomenal. You're phenomenal. She wants me to hear it. She has to hear it twice. Say it again. Say it again. Featuring the fiddles on this one called the Suicide Polka.
Put this on YouTube. Yep.
girls on the fiddle. Another fiddle song coming up right now with the Mary Chapin Carpenter's song with Becca on the vocals leading the way. Send this out to all the guys from the Polka family who are here. Looking forward to them tonight. They always rock Johnstown PolkaFest and everywhere else they play. Let's make it tonight. All right, down at the Twisted Shop.
Saturday night, the moon is out, I wanna head on over to the Twisted Shop. Find a two-step park and medication me. When they lift me up, I wanna find my down in New Orleans, never drifted down the line. But I heard that music on the radio when I saw something that was on me. Down I was sent back like my head to the bathroom, and I won't forget to send you a card with my rest. And never let me go. All right, I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna head on over to the Twisted Shop. I'm gonna keep that like a recipe for me. When it makes me up, I'm gonna come back. I'll be in the baby, I'm going to be the one that's the one.
So we had a few requests, several requests. Once someone saw this bell to do a song from Energy. Let's go ahead and do that first. I'm hearing people call. Let's go ahead and do that song that you know from Energy. We had so many good times playing up in the Johnstown area, I have to say. And especially for these guys up front who came from New York,
Binghamton, New York.
Binghamton, yeah, that area. Binghamton, New York. I see so many people came from Eastern Pennsylvania, from Wisconsin. That's in Maria over there. Awesome. And there we got it. So by special request, hate to do it, but have to do it. So this is about back in the old days when the salesman would go through the town selling whatever he had to sell. He might have a bell or so, and if he was happened to be selling herring, you might hear something like this. Śledzie, kto chce kupić śledzie, marynowane śledzie, śledzie.
Jestem w tobą śledzie. Co mniej solone, to chcę kupić śledzie. Co mniej solone, to chcę kupić śledzie. Jedzie, kupiecie, a nie wypadruje. Uciekaj dziewczyno, bo cię pocałuję. Uciekaj dziewczyno, bo cię pocałuję. Wędzone śledzie. Wiecie, a co ty mocno wygląda, a do ręki solny kład luzno. Wygląda, a do ręki solny kład luzno.
Repeat after me. Śledzie, śledzie. Wędzone śledzie, markowane śledzie, wędzone śledzie, śledzie. There you are. Because we can have 2 Street from South Philly to come to the stage. 2 Street from South Philly. Meanwhile, we're going to do an oberek. Okay, we're have a request to skip that. Well, okay. I mean, we also had another request, but we're going to keep playing anyway. And we're going to have. We also had another request, and the mic won't fit. But so, since we're having a request. Well, we also have a request for Hey Sokoi, which will be coming up later on. But right now we're going to do a little mix of a country song that turns into a polka, that turns into an oberek, that turns back into a polka.
Bringing on my roots, but I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. Last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes. Turkey's glass of champagne. I'm so scared you will say, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I'm not afraid. Never let me down.
And sway with your beer.
Well, I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. Ahead, I've been there before. Everything's alright. I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door wrong. I didn't leave because of it seems as if me and I weren't there.
One more time since he did such a good job on that last song, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, sorry.
Send one off to Mark Bosniak, Polka Royalty, on the Polka Jam chat room.
I'm fine. How are you? All right. I saw Charity in the
Nice.
whatever room that is.
We have a picture of you.
Also to Joe and Fran out there, talking to them on intermission. Give her a big round of applause to Jane Koranowski, who does so much hard work to put this marvelous festival on. Big round of applause.
It's a labor of love.
Right.
That's what it is. It's a labor of love.
And I love when you say, "Out to the Barbara Bush now," you see.
Oh, he got me in that kick.
Yeah, well, I like it.
Gotta get the fiddles.
I'm happy. Thanks.
Hey, you know what? No problem. If I can get one with you and I.
Ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la, everybody. Ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la. Rastafari. Pomaga sobie, co ci się dzieje. Ula la la la, ula la la la, ula la 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 la. Malasz meloda, 4 godziny i wymowa, pochmec dziewczyny. Ula la la la, ula la la la, ula la 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 la. From her, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
All right, war better time. You know, has everybody here eaten some food that you bought here today yet? Everybody? Everybody? If you haven't, there's all kind of great food. Spend your money, support the festival, and eat some good food. Right? Win-win for everybody. Am I right, Ray? How's the beer here? Okay. I know better. What's cooking?
Two, three.
Get on All right, we haven't, well, we kind of have, but we're going to do a new song for the band, one called I Wanna. An original for band. It's going to be on that new recording that's due out in about a week or so from next year. Here's one called I Wanna, for the Myers now, they were on, like you're basically the face of the Johnstown PolkaFest in the advertisements. And Emma. All right, here's one called I Wanna. Always on my mind, thinking there'll be something I'm holding you. For the time again, you and I can together. I'm hoping for what I can do. All I want is you. I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. Oh, I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. You're the only one that takes me to another world. You're gonna think I can't wait to say I really have all of you. You're the only thing that can say. You're the one who love me say. All that can hold up more is what I wanna do. I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. Oh, I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. Down here at home, we can't finally be alone. Waiting to show you now, I wanna be my heart. Been trying to find my way to stay with no anything. But I know there's something I can do. I know it's out of time. I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. Oh, I wanna hold you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna love you now. Love you now. A new song for the band, one called I Wanna. Hey, how about a standard? Who's ready for a standard? You want a standard? How about one like Under the Oak Tree? Oh, yeah. Does everybody know what happens under the oak tree? If you don't, too bad for you. to do a little moonlight polka. We'll do that right now. Another good standard polka.
Well, hi, Jerry Romanovich out there in the Amsterdam, Albany, New York area. Good to see you. Leonard Peters, good to see you on. Leonard, I'm not sure where you're at, but good to see you on. And everyone else that's watching now here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania at the PolkaFest. And this is, of course, the Kosmix. This is the second and final set of their performance.
Send one out to Jay and Janice Lochner. I just saw him out of the corner of my eye in a flash. So they travel all over
around.
the
Great
place.
music till 11
There it
o'clock.
is.
Once the Kosmix are done, Don Boitila and Polka
Go to
Family.
USPA and then make the circuit, travel around the country, and of course Johnstown is always on the list. Good job.
Sit on the other chair. Okay, the white one? Yeah.
We're going to do a little Dolly Parton song right about now with Victoria on the vocals. You ready, Victoria? Send one out to Maria and Steve from Wisconsin and from eastern Pennsylvania somewhere. Great to have you here with us.
Kind of was.
Victoria.
Hi and hello out there to Edward Gold out there. Edward, not sure where you're at, but thanks for joining us on this live video here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. This is the First Summit Bank, Johnstown PolkaFest, and this is the Kosmix. Hope you're doing well out there, Edward, on this fine weekend.
A song that was done by John Denver.
As always.
Now, before John Denver was called John Denver,
and we
he
are
was
here
a member of a different vocal group. And if you look it up,
it's the
he sings a polka that was like the one big song.
So again, stick around.
And I can't even say what the title is because you would all be scandalized, but just look it up. It's kind of hilarious, too.
Well, glad you're enjoying, Edward. Thanks for joining us.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. West Virginia, the rich mountains and the river. Life is open, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, flowing like the breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. Mountain mama, take me home. Country road. All my memories gather round her. Mine is little straight through the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. It's the taste of moonshine. You drop in my heart. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. Mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning. She calls me, radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road on a little train, and I said I came home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. Take me home, mama, take me home. Take me home, country road.
Hi and hello to the following people joining us. Joe Romp,
Hey.
Ohio there, around the Ohio Western PA area.
right.
Joe, good to see you on. WP Gooney out
Couple
there
more
in the
tunes
Ohio
coming. We've got
area.
one
Good to see
now
you on.
featuring
And Mary Zarkowski in
Victoria.
Levittown, Pennsylvania. Good to see you on and hope you're doing better. I know you said you had your
one that Six Philosophy requested,
and
one called
the brain
The
bleed.
Falcon.
So
And I have to say,
thinking of
we
you,
were
we're hoping you're
in
getting
Poland a
better,
few years
Mary,
ago on
and
a John
hope you'll
Gola
get
tour.
better really
And
soon, okay?
after dinner,
Hopefully you'll be back
sometimes
on your
we'd be
feet.
like eating near the town squares, these old
We're gonna
towns,
send out this
and we'd go
weekend
down into the
music
town,
to you
with the,
as
our
well as
group of
remembering
people,
the late
and we
great
played
Steve
some different
Meisner,
folk
who
songs,
lost
and the
on
people
Thursday.
loved it.
Wow.
But
So,
there was
Mary,
one song in
we're sending
particular
this
that they
weekend out
loved
to
most
you,
of all.
and hopefully you're doing well, getting better, and speedy recovery, okay? Hope to see you back out on the road and maybe
And
out at the
so
Polka
when
summer
we played
season,
this song,
maybe at
the people went absolutely
Johnstown
nuts.
Polish
The
American
guys were
Festival
grabbing the
or
girls.
Sunnybrook
They were
Ballroom in July.
dancing with
When they
them.
had
There were
John
like, I don't know,
Stevens and
3
Bobby
marriage
Lawrence
proposals
all
that happened just
I
in
wanna
the
say
span
some
of
point somewhere
that
else.
one song.
Take care, Mary. Enjoy the weekend and get better real
it is
soon.
a song. It is an old song. It involves a Ukrainian girl, and there's a falcon who he loves and she loves, and that's about it.
You're very welcome, Mary. Thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate it.
All right, she's good.
Oh,
Victoria. We've got time for just one more tune here. It's been our pleasure being here at the Johnstown PolkaFest. What a great
Hi, and
festival.
hello to Nancy
Give a big
Brock
round
out
of applause
there
to
in
the
Western
organizers and all
Massachusetts.
the
Good
bands.
to
Give
see
it
you
to
on,
them now,
Nancy.
please.
Thanks for joining us as always. And there's the
Let me
cookie
introduce
in
you to the
Levittown,
members of the
Pennsylvania.
Kosmix.
Glad you're enjoying this music.
Starting on my
Glad you're
far right
enjoying
on
it.
saxophone and vocal, Becca Olszewski. Yeah. Next to her, my daughter, on fiddle and vocals, Victoria Kozlowski. And next to her, on fiddle and vocals, Emily Olszewski. And these guys, let's start my far left. New father, I'm a grandfather first time, thank you to Sandra and Travis. He on accordion, Travis Rosinski. Good job, kid. And then these two guys, brothers, can I say the best young horn section of polkas? Come on. Hell
yeah! Heck yeah!
Philip and Matthew Olszewski. And right behind me on the drums. You know, the Bogdan family is prolific in polka music. So we're privileged to have on drums RJ Bogdan.
And of course, we can't forget the leader of the Kosmix on accordion, Randy Kozlowski. Before we start this last song, we'd like to give one last shout out to Mulch Dot for all your mulching needs. Matthew and Philip are owners of Mulch Dot.
Going nationwide next month, so keep an eye out.
Real quick, we hope to see you next Friday, St. Michael's in Elizabeth, PA. Next Sunday at Visitation Church Picnic in Mount Pleasant. June 17th, Father's Day Eve at Kinloch Fire Hall. Hope to see you down the road.
Quickly, a hi and hello to Christine Lesniewski in the Amsterdam Perth area. Good to see you on, Christine.
I've been many places where I had some fun. I traveled the highways, I followed the sun. But when the day is over and I return
coming up shortly. Stay around. Don't go anywhere.
One more time for the Kosmix band.
Stick around for a lot more music. Don Boitila is getting ready to come on. Stand by.